Hi guys, I have another Copic coloring and card tutorial for you today. I'm going to color this really cute Sugar Love by That Craft Place Ltd. It is a Etsy store, so if you go looking for her, you find her at Etsy. She makes really adorable little dolls like these. This specific one I've actually gotten for free from the Passionate Paper Creations group. And I really recommend you go and look into that if you are an active crafter and if you are on Facebook. This group is all about teaching each other how to color, just sharing and helping each other, and I really love that about this group. It started by the owner behind Passionate Paper Creations blog. She's called Rhea. She's a very wonderful person, and she has joined up with a lot of her crafty friends, both colorists and stamp creators, and you can get a lot of free coloring tutorials. There's a lot of freebies, competitions. I really recommend you to go and visit. I will put the link down below. But yeah, that was all I had to say right now, so I'm going to leave you here with some music and I'll catch up with you when I start making the card. Let's start making a card. This is basil marshmallow. I'm cutting it in half for my card base. I'm also cutting my papers, which is from My Mind's Eye Happy Day paper pack. I am cutting them down to measure 4 by 5 1/4. Both of the papers, one is for the inside and the other is for the outside. I am also going to take those strips I cut down, and I'm going to cut them down even a little more to 1 3/4 inches by 5 1/4, and these are going to be the accent panels onto my card. I'm cutting both of the panels the same sizes, so I'm actually putting the same layout on the inside as on the outside. I'm just choosing to invert the papers. This actually saves on paper. This is some coordination papers. It's the Tim Holtz Ranger Distress Ink version, so they all come in these beautiful distress ink colors. I really like those papers. I don't know where you can get them anymore. You have the one with core colors, but I haven't really found these specific coordinations. I really like them. I'm cutting all of these papers down to be 1/8 of an inch bigger in all directions, some from the papers. Now we're going to do a sentiment. I'm using Love This, and I'm using that specific stamp I showed you there. I'm going to stamp it into VersaFine Onyx Black, which is my go-to ink for sentiments because it stamps very crisp and very black. I really love this. And you can also somewhat use it with watercolors, so it's a good use for two things. I'm cutting that down to 1/5 of an inch to be exact. I'm also cutting down some of the rest of that pattern paper, which actually was just the size I wanted. I'm cutting that down to 3/4 of an inch, so I get 1/8 of an inch border from that pattern paper, and then I'm adding another cardstock which is 7/8 of an inch. This is our card base. It's the marshmallow cardstock that I'm scoring at 4 1/4 to make a standard A2 size. It was cut at 5 1/2 and it's 8 1/4 wide. 8 1/2 wide, I think. It's as wide as a letter. But yeah, I have added some tape runner on the back of all my papers, and I'm layering them all together so that I get those mats. And I usually don't layer my sentiment, but I felt that it needed to have those extra layers to actually pop from that lovely bubble paper or circle paper. It feels like bubbles, water bubbles in a lot of colors, something like that. I'm making a very simple layout because the papers are so strong, at least the bubble paper is so strong, that I really don't want it to overpower the layout, to overpower the papers, or the papers to overpower the layout. So I just make it quite simple. The sentiment I will just tape down as it is because I'm going to add the little sugar love on top of that. I am just adding that layer on the inside, and now I'm going to add the other layer on the outside before I'm popping her up, because then it's easier to add the glue and I won't kind of mush anything down. I'm using some 3M Scotch tape on the back side of her, and I'm putting her a little bit too far down. I'm not seeing perfectly from the angle I was, so it's just a little bit too far down, but kind of liked it anyway. I'm cutting this paper down. This is just the kind of end strip, so it was 2.5 by 4.5, I think. 4 1/4. And then I'm cutting a white paper. It's the sheet of basil, and I'm cutting that down to be 1/8 of an inch smaller in both directions, so that I can mat that piece, because I felt that the inside of this card was a little bit too crazy to be able to write on. You wouldn't see what you would write on that inside, so I'm adding a little panel to be able to write a message to the recipient of the card. And that is the card for today. I hope you like it. If you do, please thumbs it up. It means a lot to me. If you have any questions, just comment down below. Down below you also find links to all the supplies I've used and to the blog where you find the picture. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'd see you later. Bye!